there had been like 2 days in 1 week where I couldn't get out of bed on my own. You know, it used to be I'd roll over on my stomach, I'd slide out, and it's funny you talk about your calves cramping, so that would happen to me too. I lost, after my surgery, this outer head of my calf completely stopped firing. It was just like a dead piece of meat there. Couldn't stand up on my toes, and what would happen was when I was sleeping, it would cramp and lock with my toe pointed.
Yeah.
And when it was one, it sucked, but it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, it started being both of them. And I would wake up in the morning with both toes locked, and so I couldn't put weight on them. And, you have some nights like, I'm like, oh, well, I'm not even 50. I can't get out of bed. What's the point?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where am I going to be at 60, 55? You know, like I started thinking, I'm going to be in a wheelchair eventually here. And, you know, that thought was in the back of my mind. They had told me, hey, you're a good candidate for a fusion. The idea of fusing my first vertebrae to my pelvis and then the other 2 vertebrae above it was just like, I remember one of the doctors I talked to was like, just know when you do this fusion, they'll never bend again. Like you're going to create a new bend spot. And I didn't believe him. I didn't trust him. Thank God. I would have had the stem cells, but the mind plays tricks on you. So I was down to. I had tried everything down to where I was like, yeah, let's stick some stem cells in there. Like I'll do anything. And then, it made sense. Okay, I don't have pain, but I am so weak. So I was really willing to do the work. And I think another part of it, and we see this a lot with our cancer patients, which is why we have a class here called Power of the Mind, and we have our psychologists. Is that you got to want to win up here. You got to think you're going to get better, or you're less likely to, right? And we see, especially in cancer, if a person's mind completely gives up, unfortunately, their body is soon to follow. Yeah. But I also see, well over 1,000 stem cell patients that we've treated. I try to meet everybody. I can see, especially when people come back, and I, if they're a little unhappy, I try to figure out, well, why, what's going on, and there's a small percentage of people that thought they were just going to get an injection in their knee and just go back and not have to do anything. Or, it's very common in shoulders. It's like if your shoulder's rolled forward, you're a side sleeper, you have an impingement, like, no, you're going to have to do something to balance it out, to build that strength back, to get where you want to get.
Yeah, what patients who are considering coming here or any place like here need to understand that this is an opportunity.